Okay, today we're going to learn how to write some HTML using one of the simplest software packages on your computer. All right, so in order to do this, we're going to go to Start, over to Programs, over to Accessories, and to one of my favorite pieces of software, Notepad. Now, basically, all Notepad is a simple text editor. It doesn't have any formatting in it, doesn't do anything funky or strange or odd. It just does text formatting. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use this to write HTML code directly. All right, so we're going to make the simplest code that we can right now, and we're going to put in, we're just going to actually save this as an HTML file. So we're going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to change this to, I'm going to give it a very common name, the name that you should use for your main web page, and I'm going to call it index.html. Now, a couple things I want you to notice. Notice I didn't capitalize anything. There are a few servers that are not particularly fond of web pages. I'm sorry, not particularly fond of uppercase letters. So I'm going to strongly recommend that what you do is that you use only lowercase in most of your web pages, okay? You notice I go to All File, and I'm going to save this on the desktop as index.html. I'm going to hit Save. And yes. All right, so I just saved that. Now I'm going to minimize the screen, and you'll notice that on my web page on my desktop there's a web page. Okay, so I'm going to click on that and let's see what happens. It opens up wide. I'm going to minimize it so you can take a look at it, and you'll notice that we have a completely blank web page. There's nothing in it whatsoever. All right, but what we've actually done here, we've created a web editing environment. Okay, what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to use this area here to create our web page. All right, so I'm going to go back to my notepad, and I'm going to go, all right, I'm going to put in my first tag. Now, a tag is a piece of code that the computer can read, but it never shows you. Okay, and the first tag is HTML. You open caret, HTML, close caret. That's what's called a tag. The computer, or actually the web browser, will not display HTML files. I'm sorry, files, things that were within the tag. All right, and I'm going to actually prove that to you right now. I'm going to open the caret, close, backslash, HTML. One of the things about these little tags, they always occur in pairs. One is an opening tag, and the closing tag basically just has a little backslash. So I'm going to go File, Save. Now you notice I could go File, Save As, and basically all it's going to do is if you go to All Files, it actually saves it as an index. You can just put .html. But that's really not necessary. You can actually just save it, and it will automatically update the web page. Do you want to replace it? Say yes. Okay. We go back here, hit refresh. Still, nothing is happening. Okay. So far, this course has been pretty boring. All right. I'm actually going to start talking now about the tags that actually do something, though. This HTML tag is basically a way of defining the web page. It's something the browser reads. There are the two next tags are the two pretty much most important tags. The first one is the head tag. And in the head tag is a whole bunch of stuff that the browser reads. It is strictly for the browser. It's not for the user. And then the next, okay, and so because it's a tag, we're going to go, let's close it. All right. All right. I always, when I do my tags, I always do the open and closing tag at the same time to make sure I don't miss anything. All right. So there's the head tag. Now, what do you put in here? Well, you put the title of the web page. You may put some default kind of things, whether or not you use JavaScript. There's a whole bunch of things that go in there. We're going to talk about later. Right now, we're only going to talk about one thing that we're putting in our head tag, and that is the title, which is, of course, a tag. Open caret, T-I-T-L-E, close caret, and we're going to call this my really cool web page. And then I'm going to close the title tag, backslash, open caret, T-I-T-L-E. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to be a little bit mysterious here. I strongly recommend that you type out, you keyboard in all of these tags as we're doing them. Okay? You're going to be asking yourself, well, how else would you do that? There are ways around that, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to repeat the keystrokes. I want you to do it over and over again because we have to build up some neural pathways, okay? After a while, you're going to remember this stuff, and then I'll show you a little trick to get around doing all the hard work. All right, so let's just go File, Save, and watch what happens. All right, I'm going to go back to my web page over here, and you see this? Nothing showing. I just put in a title. Now, I want you to pay attention to this blue bar right up here at the top, okay? Right above the toolbar. Boom. Notice my really cool web page. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, the title shows up here. Once again, the title is only for the browser. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. And we're going to keep on typing. Now, you have the head, that's one set of tags, and then the other set of tags is the body. And this is what we care about because this is the stuff that we're going to be seeing. Backslash, B-O-D-Y, close caret. Now, what can we put in the body? Well, we can put anything. Okay, web pages are basically links, images, and text. All right, so we're going to start off with the easy thing. We're going to start off with text. All right, so I'm going to go open caret, P for paragraph, close caret. This is some text. All right, backslash, P, close that. All right, so I'm putting some text in. I'm just going to go File, Save. Let's go back to our web page, my really cool web page. Ta-da! Isn't that amazing? I rock. What can I say? Yeah, okay, this is our first web page. We put in some text. All right, now, there are other ways of doing text. That's a little bit of what I want to talk about right now. So let's go back to this web page and let's talk about some other kinds of text. Another kind of text tag is the H tag. H1, which is kind of ironic given the flu season right now. This is H1 text. And I'm then going to, of course it's a tag, I have to close it, H1. All right, I'm going to go File, Save, or if I really get lazy, Control S. Go back to my really cool web page, hit refresh. Ta-da! Okay, that would be heading text. Okay, that's one of the largest headings. I'm going to do this real quickly now. H2, close the caret. This is H2 text. And I'm going to close that. And then I'm going to pause this for a minute so that I can just get a whole bunch more text in here. You just hold on for a second. Okay, so now what I did is I just kind of like retyped all that stuff in. I didn't see any point in you listening to me jabber while I was typing that in. So we got all these different types of heading. This is H1, H2, H3, H5. Let's go File, Save. And we go back to our web page and hit refresh. And boom, those are all different levels of text. And you can, oh, one of the things I, once again, always mention at this point is I do have the worst typing and spelling skills in the world. All right, so you can see the text gets progressively smaller. Okay, that concludes this first part of web design. Next thing we're going to talk about some text formatting.